Oh boy, this is gonna be a heavy one to unbox. Oh, I was right about that. Okay, let's get this cart out of the way. This is the new 2026 Studio Display. It's honestly not very different from the first version, which came out back in 2022, so what is different? There are a few things, and I will show you once I get this out of the box, because you can barely see me right now. It's not the easiest unboxing to film, so I've got a bit of help from this iPhone here. This entire box seems to be held together by a singular pull tab. So let's go right ahead and do that. Ooh. That's the one pull tab for unboxing the entire Studio Display. I'm not quite sure at this point which way the box opens towards, but if we trust the graphic, that's the front, and I'm seeing the back of the Studio Display printed on the box here, so I'm guessing this flips out towards this camera. It's upside down. And the safe thing to do would be to lay this box flat down on the table and just follow the arrows. I imagine there's a graceful way to do this. So in there, that is a pull tab. I'm not sure if you actually need to tear apart this pull tab in order to access the Studio Display. I'm gonna be a rebel and try to take out the Studio Display without touching this pull tab. Okay, here goes nothing. Hold on, I did not need that pull tab. It does have a recycle logo on it, so I assume that's for helping you take the box apart once you're done with it. But there is a smaller box here, which is removable, and I'm going to assume this would contain the Thunderbolt cable. It doesn't say on the cable which version of Thunderbolt it is, but I'm assuming it's Thunderbolt 5 because this is a Thunderbolt 5 display. From the looks of it, this is a 1/2 meter cable. And in here, along with the documentation, is your very nice polishing cloth, because this is the nano texture version. I'm just gonna keep it back in this box before someone accidentally wipes the table with it. Let's put Humpty Dumpty back together. More like get Humpty Dumpty off my table so I can get on with the unboxing. Okay, see you in a bit, Humpty Dumpty. Okay, and here's the interesting bit, and by interesting I mean over-engineered, because look at this whole contraption. This is just to keep the hinge from moving about in transport and to hold that power cable in place. So I'm gonna start with this pull tab up here. That's out. Then this should come apart like so. Okay. And for the power cable, sorry, I'm very into ripping as little packaging as possible when unboxing a product. It seems like this one's designed to be ripped though. You know what, I'm just gonna go for it. Sorry. There we go. I mean, look at how elaborate this is. There's even an insert here, I think, to prevent this bit from scuffing up. And for my final trick, this. Let's go on with that. Oh, it's bringing the display down as I'm trying to get this out. Oh no, that was a tear. Hey, that's a one more thing moment right there. This thing has a very intended pull tab. I'm just gonna get a close-up of it so you know what I'm talking about. Look, it is absolutely essential that we remove this final piece of Studio Display from this edge only. Welcome to the new studio. New Studio Display. There it is, ladies and gents. Let me go stick this on my window. And so, to formally introduce the new Studio Display to the family, I have brought along its elder sibling, the 2022 Studio Display. They are the same picture. Actually, it is possible to tell because the previous Studio Display only had a single Thunderbolt port, whereas the new Studio Display has an additional downstream Thunderbolt port. I'm assuming that's the one without the dot. So if you look at the I/Os on the back, the ones with 2 Thunderbolt ports is the new Studio Display. And then the real fun comes when you try to tell a new Studio Display apart from the new Studio Display XDR without powering them on. Well, that's a story for another day. So the first significant upgrade is gonna be the cameras. Both of them are center stage cameras, but the newer Studio Display supports desk view. I have them hooked up to the same MacBook and they're both called Studio Display camera. But this one here is the old Studio Display, for lack of a better name. And you can see you've got all these effects here, including center stage, but desk view is not an option. So if we pop this over to the new Studio Display, let me get that photo booth window in here as well. So this here, thank God for that green LED letting me know which camera is on. There, the new Studio Display has desk view. So if I give it a bit of help in terms of positioning, I can have desk view, which means you can see my face, and also what's going on in front of me on my desk, all from the same single camera. Image quality is also improved on the webcam for the newer Studio Display. It's going to be a lot more apparent when it's dark, so I'm gonna do a Siri, turn off Lightbox. That wasn't a gag. This is actually hooked up to Siri. Oh, my main camera can't even see anything at the moment, but this is what the FaceTime camera on the new Studio Display sees when it's really, really dark. So let me roll a clip on the older Studio Display. And this is the 2022 Studio Display. It is a shocking difference in image quality when it comes down to low light. This is actually crazy. I wasn't expecting this big of a difference. It's a lot closer when it's bright though, but the new one is still visibly better. Siri, turn on Lightbox. Oh, hello. There we go. So this is Studio Display 2022 version, and this is Studio Display 2026 version. So the second difference are the speakers. The new Studio Display actually has the same number of speakers, which is 6, as the old one, but the website says this has 30% more bass, and I'm actually going to listen to it for myself for the very first time. I'm gonna play the same songs back on each Studio Display. I also have my best microphone here, so I'm gonna invite you along with me for a virtual listening session. I'm going to play back at full volume -3 clicks, because if you're the kind who full blasts your speakers, just take it easy, guys. The new ones do sound better, but in a pretty nuanced way. The mid-bass to top end actually sounds the same to my ears between the two Studio Displays. It's really that extension into the low frequencies you've got to listen for on the new Studio Display. It can really reach the low notes that bit deeper. Apparently it's 30%. It is a minor difference, but then again, we are building on top of something that was already excellent since 2022, which I'm still perfectly happy with today, but good to know it's better. And finally, for this final one, I'm going to spin the Studio Displays around to face this camera. It has everything to do with that one additional Thunderbolt port. It allows you to daisy chain displays now. Previously, if you wanted to run 2 Studio Displays off of a single Mac, you would have to connect both Studio Displays to your Mac's Thunderbolt ports. That would essentially take up 2 of your Mac's ports. But here, if I just plug in my old Studio Display into the new Studio Display's Thunderbolt out, it's a bit, there we go, then fingers crossed, I should be able to run 2 Studio Displays off of a single Thunderbolt connection. Hey, it worked! So this, ladies and gents, is the new Studio Display. If you're already using the Studio Display from 2022, this probably will not make you want to chuck your old Studio Display aside and replace it with the new one, not unless you're going for the XDR version. However, this did arrive at the perfect time because here at the new studio, I do need a couple extra displays for use around the space. So if you're buying additional studio displays, or if you don't own one yet and you're looking to get your first studio display, this is simply a better product for the same amount of money. And that's my take on the new Studio Display, and I guess I'll be seeing you around.